November 21st, we're about to enter a season of massive expansion, huge innovation, and one of the greatest shifts in information that we have seen in a while. But there's a danger of misinformation, and we have to begin to innovate on how we think and what we believe. This is going to be the Sagittarius season that we're entering. There is huge progress that's happening during this Sagittarius season, as the Sun in Sagittarius is in a flowing connection with both Mars in Leo and the North Node in Aries. What does that mean? It means huge progress. Fire is the energy of fuel, and all of those are in fire signs. Sagittarius, the Sun, Mars in Leo, and the North Node in Aries. All of those are fire signs. Think of that as the rocket fuel charging your rocket into space. And Sagittarius is the energy of the expansive desire to explore and adventure and seek out freedom, seek out new pathways to realize your highest self and to step into your greatness. This is the energy we're moving into right now, with all of the fire fueling this energy. Not just that, the Sun in Sagittarius is also in a harmonious connection with Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And what does that mean? It means that right now we're going to be feeling very inspired to charge towards our dream life, to break outside of our comfort zones, and to really begin to start manifesting our dreams instead of living in the confines of the reality that you've been educated that you're able to achieve. You're able to achieve much more than you think you are. We're entering into the Sagittarius season soon. This is a time for you to really believe in what you can achieve, for you to be optimistic during this time. Optimism is one of the superpowers of Sagittarius. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Optimism comes with the downside of naivety, Peter Pan innocence, childish ignorance. All of those energies do come with it as well. But if you are wise enough to use those energies selectively, to be selectively for a period of time ignorant about the possible limitations of what you can achieve in your dreams, this Sagittarius season could be super powerful for you. We have to also realize that Jupiter is the planet that rules Sagittarius. So Jupiter's the big boss in this energy. You know what I'm saying? Jupiter, big boss. You know what I'm saying? So Jupiter right now is living in Gemini, but it does not like being there because it's the opposite sign that it's used to being in. Because Sagittarius is expansion, Jupiter is expansion. It just likes to expand and explore and adventure. But Gemini is the energy of duality, which is left or right. You can't expand in both directions to your fullness. You have to begin to start being practical and making wise decisions and wise choices about which direction you go. You have to be more adaptable, more flexible, more variable. You know what I'm saying? So this is the energy of why Jupiter, one of the energies of why Jupiter doesn't like being in Gemini. So what we have to do with this right now, because Jupiter is in detriment. Detriment is a fancy ass ancient fucking Latin ass word for breaking down, disabling, weakening. You know what I'm saying? So now Jupiter is the energy of wisdom, education, higher knowledge, beliefs, the things that we have been indoctrinated to believe, the things that we have been educated to know. Now with Jupiter being in Gemini, it's a great time during this season for us to unlearn all of the things that we've been educated, or at least the bullshit things that we can identify. You know what I'm saying? And as we begin to start cleansing our mind of the things that we've been educated to believe, we now open up the pathways to new knowledge, to new education, to new adventures, to new explorations. It's time for you to stop assuming knowledge and stop assuming all of the information that you have been fed up until now is correct. Because Jupiter in detriment shows you that the information that you have been fed to believe is breaking down. Not just because it was a lie from the beginning. Some of it was always a lie. But another part of it is the fact that the Sun is actually right now going head to head with Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Which means the physical world, Taurus is a physical energy, and our values about the physical world in terms of what we value in terms of money, time, freedom, what you consider an asset right now, all of that is going through a rinse cycle. It's changing. What we used to value, we now value the opposite. This is what Sagittarius is showing us right now. This is what the Sagittarius season is showing us. It's showing us to explore opposing values to the values that you used to hold true to the values that you had so deep in your heart that you didn't even question them. Of course this is important. Of course this is my number one value. Well, why? Let's begin to start asking some questions. Because here's the other thing. Sagittarius is an energy, and Jupiter is an energy that always has the answers. But Gemini is an energy that always has the questions. So now the energy of Jupiter, that is the answers, is in the zodiac sign of the questions. And Jupiter is retrograde. So now retrograde is an energy of reflection. So we're reflecting back upon the answers that we held true to in our brain and thinking, we didn't even question these answers. These are just answers that we asked our teacher, we asked our guide, we asked our mentors. What's the answer to this question? Boom, they give us an answer, we just took it and ran with it. Didn't even question, not even once. But now's the time where we get to reflect on this and say, are you fucking lying to me? Are you lying to me? You should be questioning me. Do you get what I'm saying? Subscribe to this channel so you can watch all of my shit and make sure that I'm telling the truth. And question every single video 5 times in a row. Just keep questioning the video. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit anyway. Anyway, as Jupiter is retrograde now, it's reflecting on all of the answers that we've held true to and just assumed are correct. And in Gemini, it's asking questions about them again. You know what I'm saying? You need to go back through all of your beliefs, rewind them, replay them in your mind until you go fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go crazy with it, but rewind them in your mind and ask questions about them again. Is this true? And if it is true, is it true for me? Is it true for you? Is it true for your situation? Because remember, Gemini is the dual path. You took a left or a right. Maybe the answers that you got was true for the left path, but not true for the right path. You know what I'm saying? And now you're on the right path. You know what I'm saying? And that's the North Node energy. So Sun in Sagittarius in a flowing connection with the North Node in Aries, which is about progress. Aries is about progress and independence. What are we just talking about? We're talking about beliefs and thinking. Independent thinking. You need to start thinking for yourself, to choose your own right path for yourself. I'm not telling you how to think. I'm just giving you the astrology to align you with your own authentic path so you can think for yourself along your authentic path, aligned with the astrology and the universal energies. You know what I'm saying? So Sagittarius allows you to really begin to start expanding your awareness and expanding your consciousness once you learn how to align with independent thinking, your own independent beliefs, because now you're questioning the answers based upon your own experience and the pathway that you chose. And now you're realizing with the Sun in Sagittarius going head to head with Uranus retrograde in Taurus that you may need to begin to start flipping the head on what it is that you value, what it is that you prioritize, what it is that you find important, what it is that you're building. And remember, as we're going into this period of expansion, the Sagittarian expansion comes after the intense focus of Scorpio, which means you don't necessarily just let go of the intense focus of Scorpio, as I've told you to go all in on this energy. You don't just let go of that energy. You expand into it. You know what I'm saying? So you chose to go deep on a path, but now you're expanding into that path. You've gone deep into it, and now you're expanding your knowledge and awareness in the shadow path that you have chosen in Scorpio. We're still in the same cycle. There's a cycle of 3 seasons, which starts with Libra and ends with Sagittarius. The Sagittarius season is the end of the cycle that we began in the Libra season. Libra is the beginning of the cycle. Scorpio is the middle of the cycle. In fact, no, better way of saying this. Libra is the beginning of the story, Scorpio is the middle of the story, Sagittarius is the moral of the story. So don't look at this as a completely separate season as though you're just doing something completely different to what you've just been doing in the Scorpio season. No, this is the moral of the story to the saga that is the Scorpio season that you've just been in. So it's expanding your awareness and expanding your consciousness as you keep on leaning into the same energy and expanding into it, educating yourself in a different way by questioning your beliefs and questioning the knowledge that you have been indoctrinated to believe and without question. Then we have to begin to start looking at Jupiter, realizing that Jupiter is opposite Mercury. They're actually in a symbiotic relationship, which basically means like they're in each other's signs and they both don't like where they are, which means that Jupiter's breaking down in its beliefs and its knowledge, and Mercury is breaking down in its thinking and communication, which means we have to begin to learn how to over-communicate right now, because you may take for granted that your communication is being understood by who you're talking to, and that is not the case. It will not be the case. You understand what I'm saying? Mercury's going to go retrograde soon as well, at this specific moment, I don't remember when. but Mercury will go retrograde. I believe I'm not going to guess, but it's going retrograde soon during this time. So we have to begin to over communicate and not assume that what we are speaking about is being understood. This is why I don't use fancy ass astrology terms, and I use terms like flowing connection, difficult connection. Because if you understand the astrology terms, you already understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you still understand what I'm talking about. You understand? We're over communicating and we're bringing high level knowledge down to eye level knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Shout out OE son, you know what I'm saying? First astrology teacher, don't know. So Mercury in Sagittarius, also opposite Jupiter in Gemini, it deals with misinformation. You know what I'm trying to say? So we have to begin to, and it deals with an overwhelm of information. We are drowning in information right now, which means that we have to use the duality of Gemini to be very selective in which path we choose in terms of which teacher we choose. All of us need teachers. I have teachers too. I'm just a teacher in the astrology realm, but in my other realms, I have teachers too. I need to choose them carefully and choose them wisely. You need to choose them carefully and wisely based upon the information that you can, trusted sources. Do you get what I'm saying? Trusted sources of information. Jupiter is also in a square right now with Saturn in Pisces, or it will be as Sagittarius season begins. What does this mean? Well, it means that not only do we have to reflect on our belief systems and the knowledge that we have taken to be true, but we have to battle test it against reality, which is the planet of Saturn and the structure that we're building. So we're building a structure with Saturn in Pisces that is going to be the foundation to manifest your dream life. Then to manifest your dream life, it's showing that the conflict between these two energies, conflict energy is active energy, by the way. You can use this energy to actively build with. Like, it's like tension. When you have sexual tension, you know what you do? You know what I'm saying? You find a woman that you love and you make babies. You get what I'm saying? It's active energy that you can create with. Don't just waste this energy and, you know what I'm saying, bust it in a tissue. You get what I'm saying? Create some babies with that shit. Manifest your dream life. So we can use this energy, this tension energy, to create the structures that are going to manifest your reality. But then take the belief systems that you had before and the knowledge you thought you had before and battle test it against the reality of the structures you're building. Does it match to the reality of your chosen path, or does that knowledge, even if it's correct for somebody else, correct for the left path, it's not correct for the right path? You need to battle test your information, battle test your knowledge, and really begin to start testing it in real life situations, not just testing it in your head, because in your head you can trick yourself in any thoughts you want to believe. This is how misinformation works, because you can trick yourself to believe anything. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to battle test it in reality. The other energy is that Jupiter retrograde is also sextile to the moon, which means that we have to really begin to start nurturing ourselves with the right belief systems, also the right optimism. With Jupiter being in detriment in Gemini, sometimes we're realizing we might get overwhelmed a little bit emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Because there's just an overwhelm of information. There's a big path that we see ahead of us. And sometimes we get so excited emotionally as well, especially with the moon being in Leo. It's got that childlike energy. I can do anything. It's like, yes, you can. One step at a time, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you're taking these baby steps, even though you can map out in your mind, and make sure that you're writing things down. Because if you keep the overwhelm of information in your head, then your head is going to explode and you're just going to be anxious and ADHD and distracted, and you're just going to overthink everything. You're not going to do anything. Write things down. Get things into a step-by-step energy. And this is the structure that Saturn in Pisces brings forth. If you're going to manifest your dreams, realize that Saturn is already showing you that it's going to take a long time, a sustainable amount of time. So you have to write things down and plan out the long-term vision, which is what Jupiter is focused on, long-term vision. Being able to oversee the whole big picture. So this Sagittarius season really brings forth a great opportunity for massive expansion, but with it being head-to-head with Uranus retrograde, you're going to have to be prepared to do things differently, to take your own authentic path. You're going to have to be prepared to question your value systems, to question your beliefs. And that's really going to take you down your authentic path, because once you start to go against value systems, knowledge, and information that the rest of society all take for granted, then you're really going to be in your authentic path, because you're like, okay, even if you take these value systems, beliefs and knowledge for granted, this is right for your path, but it's not right for my path. And you have to have the confidence and the cojones to say that and to live that. One more thing, you have to also understand the sextile with Pluto and Aquarius, which means if you're aligning with your authentic path and you have the courage to step out and be seen in the position of a leader, in the position of a person who is optimistic and has the belief in their vision. Remember, Sagittarius is a fire sign, which is an active sign. So belief when it comes to Sagittarius is different from belief when it comes to Pisces. These are the two belief signs. Belief in Pisces is this internal subconscious belief, almost like this unconscious competence. Sagittarian belief is active because it's a fire sign. Fire signs are active. It's a penetrating sign, which means that your belief is only belief if it's backed by action. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody wants to just hear you jibber jabbering. That's Mercury in Sagittarius opposite Jupiter in Gemini. People who just over exaggerate with these big highfalutin words. If you see people in the Sagittarius season just over exaggerating and making these huge fucking claims, run and run fast. I'm telling you. Listen, don't fucking skip over this part of the video. If you see people in the Sagittarius season or from Sagittarius season onwards making these big ass claims, run. They're 9.9 out of 10. They're scamming your ass with some over-exaggerated, over-inflated claims. Jupiter is over-inflation. Never mind when it's in detriment. When it's in detriment, the integrity of the planet also weakens, also disables, which means the planet doesn't act with integrity anymore. Nor Mercury. You know what I'm saying? So with people who don't have integrity anyway in the beginning, they can easily use these energies to manipulate with misinformation and over-exaggerated claims. So make sure that you're aware of that. So with the fire sign of Sagittarius season that we're coming into, your belief is shown by your action, by your ability to stand up and lead people. And with the connection with Pluto and Aquarius, there is massive opportunity for you to collect a tribe, for you to build an audience if you're able to step out into a position of leadership, and for you to be a part of something that is bigger than just yourself. There is something that is going to serve the collective with a new level of information, with a new level of wisdom, with a new level of authenticity, building in an authentic and innovative way. And with a tribe of people who are authentically aligned with your belief systems, with your philosophy, and your new philosophy will be authentically aligned with you because you've had the courage and the confidence to question what you believe, to question what you've been taught, and now choose the pathway that aligns with not the left path, but the right path. And the right path is your path. If you want to discover your true self of astrology, the link in the description is my free astro mini course. Go and get that, subscribe to this channel, share it to everybody who will resonate with this, and I appreciate you. Peace.